Good evening, my dear friend. You are safe here. In Isaiah 30:15, we hear the Lord whisper across the ages, "In quietness and trust is your strength." And so you are invited now to sink into that promise, to allow each inhale to carry you deeper into stillness, each exhale to release tension you have carried far too long. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast, hushed valley, where dawn's first light has yet to stir. Feel the gentle hush embrace you like a soft blanket. Sense the ancient stones underfoot grounding you in his presence. Remember that in this moment, you do not need to strive. You do not need to solve the puzzles of tomorrow or replay the mistakes of yesterday. Simply rest in the assurance that your strength is found not in your own efforts, but in the gentle heartbeat of the one who made you. Let your mind drift to the image of a quiet pool, fed by a hidden spring, its surface unbroken, mirroring the sky's subtle glow. Allow the sound of your breathing to become a sacred rhythm matched to the valley's breath. Pray silently as you walk along the riverbank of grace. Lord, teach me to be still, to trust your timing, to lean fully into your care. Each step draws you into deeper peace. Every heartbeat reminds you that you are beloved. Let these words echo softly in your soul. In quietness and trust is your strength, and rest in that sweet assurance until the valley itself seems to breathe with your own. Imagine yourself lying in lush green pastures beneath a vast open sky, each blade of grass cradling your weary body, and every whisper of wind carrying the promise of peace as the Lord's voice echoes within. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. With each inhale, draw in that gentle promise and feel hope awaken. With each exhale, release every heavy fragment of doubt that clings to your heart. A soft current of water flows at your side, its rhythm perfectly in tune with your breathing, guiding you deeper into stillness where no fear can follow. The sun's last glow warms your skin as you surrender to the softness beneath you, every molecule of tension melting away into the fertile earth, every heartbeat a testament to how deeply you are safe in his care. Let your thoughts drift to the delicate ripples on the water's surface, each circle expanding out until all worries vanish into the quiet expanse. Here, in this sanctuary of green and light, you are beloved beyond measure, held by hands that heal, led by a shepherd whose compassion never falters. Sense his presence as a gentle breeze at your cheek, a silent song of comfort that echoes through your soul. No past regret, no future concern can penetrate this moment of rest, for you lie in the lap of divine provision, your spirit renewed with every breath. Feel how the grass beneath you supports every part of you that aches, how the water beside you whispers restoration, and how the very air around you hums with grace. Inhale once more the gift of this sacred peace. Exhale the last remnants of unrest, and know that here, beside still waters, you are home, you are held, you are restored. Step by careful step, you begin to cross the valley floor, each footfall soft against the earth, each inhale drawing you deeper into stillness, and each exhale releasing a shard of worry you have carried too long. Imagine a pale moon hovering above distant peaks, its silver light spilling across the grass like a gentle invitation to rest. Feel how the tiny dew drops on each blade of grass glisten as though caught in an eternal moment of calm. Sense the coolness of the ground beneath your bare feet as it anchors you in the present, reminding you that here you are safe, here you are held, here you are beloved. With each breath, focus on the rhythm of your heart. Let it become a sacred drumbeat echoing through the valley, steady and unwavering, carrying the promise that you are never alone. Let every beat affirm, I am safe. Let every breath whisper, I am resting in His care. Allow the hush of the night to cradle you. Each sound, the rustle of grass, the distant call of an owl, the hush of wind through ancient pines, become a lullaby of peace for your soul. Now picture the path before you lined with smooth river stones, warmed by the day's sun, each one a stepping stone of grace placed by the shepherd for your journey. Trust that every step you take is guided by love, each movement a dance of surrender. Imagine the valley walls rising on either side like patient guardians, their silent watch inviting your heart to slow, inviting your mind to soften, inviting your spirit to simply be. As you walk, let your focus shift to the air around you. Notice how it feels tender against your skin, how it carries the scent of cedar and earth. Inhale that fragrance deeply and feel it infuse your lungs with renewal. Exhale any last trace of doubt or fear. Let it drift away like a wisp of mist dissolving into dawn's first light. In the distance, you hear the gentle murmur of water flowing over smooth stones. Follow that sound as though it were a beacon of hope. Move toward it with trust. Let your steps become lighter. Let your heart become more open. Let your entire being soften in anticipation of encountering still waters. As you approach the stream, observe how its surface lies undisturbed, a perfect mirror reflecting the star-dotted sky. Reach out and let your fingers graze the cool current. Feel its blessing of restoration ripple through every cell. Feel it wash away the residue of anxiety you have carried. Imagine that beneath the surface, every wound of the day is being healed. Every anxious thought is being transformed into calm clarity. Every restless impulse is being lulled into tranquil submission. Pause now alongside the water's edge and close your eyes. Breathe in the gift of this moment and breathe out the fragments of unrest that linger. Recite silently. Lord, in quietness and trust is my strength. Allow those words to sink into the depth of your being. Let them become seeds of peace, planted in the fertile soil of your heart. Know that in this valley of stillness, your strength does not depend on striving, but on surrendering to His infinite care. Open your eyes and witness how the moonlight dances across the stream like the flicker of promise. Follow that dance with your gaze until your heart is filled with light. Let that light expand to fill your entire body, every limb, every organ, every thought, until you are a vessel brimming with divine rest. Now rise from the water's edge and continue along the soft path, each step lighter than the last, each breath calmer than the one before. Sense how the valley itself seems to breathe in harmony with you. Inhale its blessing, exhale its gift. Move deeper into the hush until the world beyond these ridges is a distant echo, until only the valley remains, until only the presence of the shepherd enfolds you. Keep walking, breathing, trusting, resting, knowing that this loop of the journey is complete when your mind finds that sacred quiet where no fear can enter, no worry can linger, and only peace reigns eternal. Loop 1 complete. As you continue your journey through the silent valley, notice now how the grasses around you rise and fall in a gentle, wordless conversation with the breeze, each blade bending as though in worship, inviting your own spirit to bow into stillness. And as you walk, sense how the cool wind brushes across your skin like a soft benediction, carrying with it the scent of pine needles and wildflowers that linger on the air. each inhale filling your lungs with a sweet reminder of God's faithful provision, each exhale releasing the last vestiges of anxiety that have weighed upon your heart. Imagine that with every gust, a soft chorus rises among the trees, the rustle of leaves forming a symphony of peace that vibrates through your bones, coaxing every fiber of tension to loosen its grip. Feel how the valley itself seems to breathe alongside you, inhaling your burdens, exhaling calm. Look down at your feet and see that the path is now lined with delicate ferns, their fronds unfurling like the open hands of prayer. Let their vibrant green speak to the renewal taking place within you. Sense how each step past these living tapestries urges your mind to let go of clutter, to release looping thoughts, to choose instead the gift of presence. As you move deeper, notice clusters of wildflowers, soft purples, pale yellows, nodding gently in the breeze, each blossom a quiet testimony to the beauty that springs forth even in places of stillness. And you might silently whisper a prayer of gratitude for these simple miracles. Thank you, Lord, for moments like this, allowing your heart to expand with thanksgiving until it feels as boundless as the meadow stretching out before you. Pause for a moment and let your attention rest on the interplay of light and shadow dancing across the valley floor, the sun's waning rays filtering through a canopy of leaves overhead, each flicker reminding you that even in darkness there is gentle illumination, that God's light always finds a way to break through, filling every hidden corner with warmth. So breathe in that light, feel it infuse your very cells with hope, feel it dissolve any last threads of doubt. Now, as you turn a bend in the path, you discover a small moss-lined clearing where the wind's voice softens to a murmur. Imagine sinking down onto a cushion of moss, every fiber as tender as a mother's embrace. Let yourself rest here and feel the damp earth beneath you cradle your weight. Let the coolness seep into your bones, calming every tremor of unrest. Close your eyes and let the wind's lullaby carry you further into rest. Each breath a prayer, each whisper of leaves an affirmation that you are safe and you are held. When you rise again, sense that the valley has shifted slightly, as if guiding you onward toward a deeper sanctuary, the path narrowing and flanked now by slender saplings whose branches intertwine above, forming a natural archway of living wood, and beneath this vaulted ceiling, tilt your face upward and feel the wind swirl around you in delicate eddies. Imagine each spiral of air swirling away your fears, carrying them upward to dissolve in the expanse above. Let your spirit drift on those currents until all that remains is the gentle rhythm of your in-breath and out-breath. Beneath the arch, you find smooth river stones dusted with moss, each one cool to the touch. Pick one up in your hand and feel its weight. Let it symbolize the worries you once carried, then place it gently at your feet, surrendering those concerns to the ground beneath. Watch as the moss seems to envelop it in a silent act of grace. Let your heart receive that same embrace, an unspoken promise that every burden you release will be met with divine compassion. Continuing on, you notice that the wind now carries faint echoes of distant laughter, as if creation itself rejoices in your surrender. Let that sound remind you that true joy often arises in stillness, that when we cease striving, God's delight in us becomes unmistakable. So breathe deeply into that joy. Allow it to resonate through your chest, filling you with a tranquil gladness that outshines any fleeting pleasure of the world. As the glade opens into another stretch of meadow, allow your gaze to soften and take in the horizon where earth and sky meet, a gentle sweep of color that promises a new dawn. Feel how the breeze here is warmer, laden with the hope of morning. Let its warmth kindle a steady flame of trust in your soul, a trust that no matter what comes, you are guided by hands that never let go. With your next step, imagine the entire valley exhaling in unison with you, a final release of all that weighs you down. Let your own exhale be an echo of that divine breath of peace, and know that in this moment, surrounded by swaying grasses, whispering leaves, vibrant blooms, and the tender caress of the wind, you have truly let go, you have truly rested, you have truly encountered the stillness of God's presence. In quietness and trust is your strength. The ancient whisper of Isaiah 30:15 beckons you now to lean into that promise with everything you are. Breathe deeply and feel the stir of divine assurance rising in your chest. Imagine standing at the valley's heart where the air itself is still, as though creation holds its breath to witness your surrender. With each inhale, draw in courage, and each exhale, let go of striving. Envision the words themselves forming luminous letters suspended before you, glowing against the dusky sky. In quietness and trust is your strength. Let your gaze rest on them until they imprint upon your soul. As you stand there, releasing every clenched thought and burdened memory into the earth beneath your feet, sense how the valley floor responds, rising in gentle vibration like a living instrument resonating with the rhythm of your faith. Feel that vibration travel through your legs into your spine and up into your heart. Let it awaken a profound stillness that no noise can shatter, no fear can penetrate. Recall every moment you have tried to carry the weight on your own, every midnight wrestling with doubt, every restless thought that spun you away from peace. Now release those memories as stones upon a river's surface. Watch them sink beneath the currents of God's compassion. Know that here, in this silent sanctuary, His strength becomes yours, His calm becomes your rest. Turn your attention to the gentle undulation of the valley walls, as if they breathe alongside you. Inhale their support, exhale your resistance. Feel how their silent watch enfolds you in safe embrace. Let their presence whisper assurances of care and constancy. Visualize a soft golden light seeping from the distant horizon, a dawn born of Spirit's promise. Let that light pour into the valley's stillness, filling every crevice of your being with hope. Let it flood your chest until your lungs swell with its warmth, every beat of your heart a drum heralding the dawn of rest. Whisper now with the breath of your soul, "I trust you, Lord." Let those words echo against the valley walls, rebounding into layers of grace, each echo a sacred hymn of surrender. Sense how the entire landscape joins that hymn, how grasses bow, how stones hum, how the very wind carries the refrain. And as you repeat, "In quietness and trust is my strength," with each breath, inhale, exhale, feel your spirit align with the heartbeat of heaven. Feel burdens dissolve into the hush. Feel every cell awaken to the truth that you are upheld, you are guided, you are beloved. Remain here as long as you need, breathing in that timeless promise, breathing out every last fragment of striving, until only the still, resonant peace of God remains within you, a wellspring that cannot run dry, an anchor that cannot be moved. When this loop of journeying in Isaiah's voice draws to its close, carry this peace with you into every coming moment, knowing that in quietness and trust your strength endures. Feel the gentle pull of the valley calling you onward, each breath guiding your steps toward a place of deeper peace. Imagine the soft carpet of moss beneath your feet giving way to a shallow stream that glimmers in the moonlight, its surface smooth as glass, inviting you to step into its cool embrace. Hesitate only a moment, then let your bare feet sink into the water, each toe pressing into the bed of rounded stones, 1,000 tiny massage points releasing tension you didn't know you held. Inhale the scent of wet earth and crisp night air. Exhale every lingering worry into the current. Watch as it carries your cares away over moss-covered rocks, each ripple a silent blessing of rest. Now stand midstream, water swirling around your ankles, and lift your gaze to the heavens where stars dance like scattered diamonds. Feel their distant light weave through you, connecting every molecule of your being to the vast tapestry of creation. Sense how small your struggles are against the infinite canvas above, and let that perspective lift the final veil of anxiety. Breathe deeply, drawing in the valley's stillness. Allow the rhythm of the flowing water to synchronize with the beat of your heart, each pulse echoing in harmony with creation's own pulse, a sacred metronome casting out all haste. Step forward until the water reaches your calves, then pause to cup your hands and draw in a handful of the cool current. Let it trickle through your fingers back into the stream, a living metaphor of release. What you hold for an instant, you let go, and in that cycle you find renewal. Bring your hands to your face and let the droplets trace paths down your cheeks like tears of relief, cleansing the last vestiges of doubt. As you continue, notice how the stream widens into a gentle pool, the water still shallow but deep enough to cradle your feet in a soothing embrace. See how the moon's reflection dances on its surface, fragmented yet whole, and imagine that same light shining within your soul, illuminating hidden corners that fear long kept in shadow. Let the brightness of divine light flood those spaces, dispelling every trace of darkness, filling you with a serene confidence that you are safe, you are seen, you are held. A soft mist rises from the pool, drifting over your ankles like a silken veil, each tendril curling around your legs, a tender reminder of the Holy Spirit's presence. Inhale that mist as though it were pure grace. Feel it coat your lungs with assurance. Exhale into it and watch how it carries your exhale into the night sky, leaving nothing but peace in its wake. Now kneel at the pool's edge, resting your elbows on your thighs, hands submerged in the water, and close your eyes. Feel the gentle current swirl around your palms, a liquid lullaby cradling your soul. Offer a silent prayer. Lord, let your living water wash over me, restore my spirit, quiet my mind, guide my steps in stillness. Let those words echo inward, each repetition a balm to your weary heart, each breath in, out, and out, a rhythmic surrender to his care. Remain here as the valley watches in silent solidarity, the air humming with life even in its quiet, the grass bending ever so slightly as if to whisper encouragement, the stones beneath your knees cool yet comforting, anchoring you in the earth's tender embrace. Feel the promise of Psalm's waters, waters that restore, flow through you, each molecule of your body renewing in concert with the stream's gentle current, every cell awakening to the gift of divine rest. Rise slowly, letting the water drip from your hands back into the pool, each drop a final echo of your release. Stand and turn to leave the water behind, yet carry its essence within you, a living reminder that in Christ you have gone down to be cleansed and now rise to walk in newness of peace. Step out of the pool onto the soft grass beyond, the blades bending to welcome you, and sense how the valley floor itself seems to support each step with renewed tenderness, as though celebrating your transformation. Ahead, the path leads between two ancient oaks, whose branches intertwine overhead, forming a natural archway of living wood and dappled light. Walk beneath this arch as though entering a sacred cathedral, where every leaf is a vaulted ceiling, and every ray of moonlight a stained glass window depicting the story of God's faithfulness, each filtered beam illuminating your path, guiding you toward the heart of the valley's stillness. With each step under the oaks, feel how your shoulders relax, how your chest opens, how your spine lengthens, as though the very grace of God is lifting your burdens from your back. Breathe in the fragrance of bark and leaf. Breathe out into that holy space until your breath is nothing more than an echo of the breeze stirring the branches, a silent conversation between you and creation's creator. When you emerge from beneath the arch, you find yourself before a small clearing where the grass is thick and resilient, forming a natural cushion. Lie down fully in that clearing, arms spread as if to embrace the sky, legs comfortably apart, and let the earth hold you. Feel the subtle heartbeat of the ground beneath you, the gentle rise and fall with each breath you share, the intimacy of union with the Maker who formed you from dust and now draws you into divine rest. As you lie there, gaze upward through the canopy to the star-dotted sky. Let your eyes soften until the points of light blur into constellations of hope, each one a promise that God's eyes watch over you, each one a reminder that His faithful love is as constant as the night above. Breathe in the valley's breath, breathe out your soul's last sigh of unrest, and know that here, in this pool of peace, beneath the oaks of promise, lying on the earth of grace, you have encountered His living water, His unfailing presence, His restorative rest. When you are ready, sit up slowly, pressing your hands into the earth for support, and whisper softly, "Lord, thank you for your living water. Thank you for your peace that flows like a river. Thank you for leading me beside still waters." Let the words settle into your spirit as a lasting benediction, a covenant of calm you carry beyond the valley's borders. Then stand, dust yourself gently with grass, and with a final mindful breath, turn to continue your journey, each step returning you to the world, but with a heart forever marked by the valley's stillness and the stream's restorative grace. As you step beyond the archway of oaks, the valley opens into a wide meadow bathed in moonlight, its grasses shimmering like argent waves under a starlit sky, and you notice how the air here feels charged with a gentle expectancy, as though creation itself leans in to witness your surrender. With each measured breath, feel the heaviness you once carried, worries of yesterday, anxieties of tomorrow, slowly separating from your spirit, drifting as motes of dust upon a sunbeam until they dissolve into nothingness, leaving only the shimmering present moment. Walk slowly through the meadow, your bare feet parting the soft tips of grass that brush against your ankles like tender fingertips, and imagine that every blade you pass gathers whatever residue of fear remains, drawing it downward into the earth where it is consumed by the valley's silent power. Sense beneath your feet the ancient pulse of the ground, a heartbeat that thrums in harmony with your own, reminding you that you are a child of this place, cradled by the same hands that shaped mountains and carved rivers. As you move, the meadow's stillness invites reflection. Recall a memory that has burdened you, a wound that you have carried in silence. See it now as a shadow at the edge of your vision, then bring it fully into the moonlight, Expose it to the valley's calm scrutiny. Watch as the grasses lean toward that shadow, their collective presence shining truth upon it, their gentle sway whispering, "You are not defined by this pain. You are free to let it go." As you inhale, draw in that declaration. As you exhale, imagine the shadow dissolving, unraveling like a tapestry of old regrets unweaving before your eyes. Continuing forward, you approach a cluster of smooth white stones arranged in a gentle spiral upon the grass, each stone etched with a single word: forgiveness, release, mercy, grace. Kneel before the spiral and place your palm upon the first stone, forgiveness, and in a soft, silent prayer, release yourself and others from the chains of past hurt. Feel a warmth bloom beneath your hand, as if the valley itself confirms your act of mercy. Let that warmth travel up your arm into your chest, expanding your capacity to forgive and be forgiven. Then move your hand to the next stone, release, and with your breath, exhale the tension held in your shoulders, your jaw, your gut, declaring to the night, "I release what I cannot change," allowing the valley's hush to carry your words beyond your lips into the limitless expanse where they dissolve into peace. Place a hand on mercy and feel compassion pour into you like a fountain, softening every hardened corner of your soul, watering the seeds of kindness and empathy until they sprout anew within your heart. Finally, rest your hand on grace, the largest stone at the spiral's center, and receive the valley's gift, unearned, unmerited favor that courses through your being like a gentle current, steady and sustaining. Let that grace drift into every cell, every thought, every breath, until you sense yourself reborn in stillness. Rise slowly from the spiral and step into its center, feeling the stone's collective energy radiate upward, encircling you in a ring of light that marks you as one who has chosen freedom. As you leave the spiral behind, a soft melody begins to rise among the grasses, a hypnotic hum that seems neither wholly wind nor insect, but something woven from the valley's very essence. Follow that melody, each note guiding your feet toward a distant grove of weeping willows, their long boughs dipping to caress the ground as though offering sanctuary. Beneath their veil, find a hammock of living branches, woven by unseen hands, swinging gently in a breeze you cannot feel, and lie back within it, letting its cradle-like sway lull your spirit into deeper rest. Look up through the willow's draping leaves and see the sky framed like a cathedral window, the stars twinkling with ancient promise, and feel how the valley's melody harmonizes with the rhythm of your breath, creating a lullaby of cosmic proportion that soothes every fretful tremor in your mind. Here, in this tender cradle, allow any remaining tension to seep from your muscles, liquefying into the night air until your body feels as light as moonlight itself. In this suspended moment, offer a prayer of complete surrender. Lord, all that I am, I lay before you. Every doubt, every fear, every restless thought, take them and transform them with your peace. And hear in the hush a response like distant thunder of love, rumbling softly through the valley's core, reassuring you that your prayers are heard and your rest is ordained. After a time that feels both fleeting and eternal, the melody fades to a single resonant note that lingers like a bell tolling through the meadow. Rise from the willow hammock and follow that note as it guides you to the meadow's far edge, where a single white blossom glows under a beam of moonlight, a flower whose petals unfold in perfect symmetry, each one a reflection of divine beauty. Approach the blossom and cup it gently in your hands. Sense its softness, its purity, its fragility held within strength, and know that you too are a vessel of such grace, a living testament to God's restorative work. Place the flower at your heart and feel its life pulse merge with yours, a silent covenant that you carry this valley's stillness within you wherever you go. Let the meadow's breeze wrap around you in a final embrace, whispering rest, trust, believe, until those words become part of your own breath. Turn now to retrace your steps through the meadow, through the archway of oaks, past the stream and the pool, each landmark greeting you as an old friend celebrating your transformation. With each step, press into the knowledge that you have released your burdens, forgiven yourself and others, received mercy and grace, and that your spirit has been renewed in the valley's heart. As you walk back toward the place where your journey began, carry with you the memory of the spiral stones, the willow's cradle, the glowing blossom, and let their images be ever-present reminders that when your mind races or your heart grows heavy, you need only close your eyes and return in spirit to this meadow of stillness where peace reigns and you are always safe, always beloved, always resting in the shepherd's care, with the echo of Psalm 23 still resonating in your spirit. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. You find yourself drawn once more to the hidden spring at the heart of the valley, its source a narrow rivulet emerging from beneath a cluster of ancient stones, each one carved by time to cradle the water's first breath. Step forward until your toes touch the damp earth at its brink. Feel how the cool mist rising from the spring kisses your skin, each droplet a miniature benediction, and breathe deeply into the sacred moment as though inhaling the very essence of divine restoration. Let your gaze follow the rivulet as it weaves through the grass, its banks lined with smooth pebbles polished by centuries of flow. Imagine yourself kneeling beside it, settling your weight onto one knee while the other foot anchors you in the present. Feel how the water's gentle murmur harmonizes with the rhythm of your heart, how its ceaseless song calms the tumult of your thoughts, coaxing each anxious whisper to settle like leaves on still water. Cup your hands beneath the stream's clear surface and draw up a draught of living water. Let its purity cascade through your fingers, back into the rivulet, a cycle of give and receive that mirrors the exchange between your soul and your Creator. What you receive in abundance, you pour back in praise and gratitude. What you release in surrender returns as blessing and renewal. Lift your hands to your lips and sip that water as though it were the living word itself. Feel it ignite a fire of peace in your core. Fuel a quiet confidence that burns brighter than any fear. As you drink, recall a moment of doubt or despair, a night when sleep eluded you and your mind raced like wild horses across uncharted fields. See that memory as a faded photograph you hold in one hand, then slip it into the stream's current. Watch it drift away until its edges blur and vanish, leaving only the pure flow of God's mercy to fill the space once occupied by worry. Rise fully now and step into the shallow bed of the rivulet, the water swirling around your calves as though welcoming you into deeper communion. Feel the cool current trace patterns along your skin, a living map guiding you towards stillness. With each step forward, let the water scrub away the residue of fatigue, the sediment of regret, the sediment of yesterday's mistakes, until you stand cleansed and renewed, a vessel fit to receive the fullness of divine peace. Ahead, the rivulet widens into a tranquil basin, where the water pools beneath an overhanging ledge of rock. its surface so still it reflects your face as though gazing into your soul. Lean in and study that reflection. See how the moonlight frames your features in silver, how your eyes shine with newfound calm, how the lines of tension have softened as though carved away by grace. Now place both palms against the water's surface and press gently, feeling its cool firmness beneath your touch, as though the basin itself affirms your worth and your rest. Step back to the rocky ledge and find a narrow crevice where moss and fern have taken root. Reach in and pull free a small spray of verdant greenery, its leaves vibrant with life. Hold it close to your heart and whisper silently, "Just as this fern thrives in the rock's embrace, so my soul thrives in yours." Allow the truth of that declaration to sink into every fiber of your being until it becomes the foundation upon which you build your trust. Now lower yourself onto a smooth mossy shelf beside the basin, legs folded in a comfortable cross-legged position, and rest your hands upon your knees, palms upturned in a gesture of openness. Close your eyes and attune your awareness to the symphony of the spring, the gurgle of water over stone, the whisper of fern fronds in the breeze, the distant call of a night creature hidden in the underbrush, all weaving together into a living prayer of restoration. With your breath as your guide, begin to move your hands in slow, circular motions just above your knees, palms drawing down, then lifting up, as though you are coaxing the valley's peace into your body. Inhale as your hands rise, gathering calm from the air. Exhale as they descend, releasing tension into the earth. Feel how each rotation refines your awareness, hones your focus, aligns your spirit with the steady flow of the spring. After several cycles, let your hands settle and rest over your heart, fingers splayed lightly as though feeling the beat of divine love beneath your ribs. Sense the warmth emanating from that center, growing with each heartbeat, expanding outward until it fills your entire chest, your shoulders, your belly, then flows through your arms to your fingertips, through your legs to your toes, a river of grace coursing through every limb. In this moment, offer a silent benediction. May the living water of your presence flow through me. May your restoration permeate every part of my being. May I be carried on your currents of peace. Breathe in the echo of your own prayer. Let it reverberate through the valley as though creation itself answers. Feel the stones beneath you pulse in response. Remain here as long as your soul requires, drinking in the spring song, feeling its touch, receiving its healing, until you have drunk deep enough to overflow with gratitude and rest. When you are ready, rise slowly, feeling the world steady beneath your feet, and step out of the basin back onto the soft grass beyond, each blade now a reminder of the spring's vitality that lives within you. Turn gently and gaze back at the basin, its surface now still once more, but carrying the memory of your presence like a hidden fragrance, and know that you may return at any time in spirit to this place of restoration, that its waters run always, unseen yet present, within the depths of your soul. Walk back toward the narrow rivulet with a lighter step, your mind quieted, your heart full, your spirit restored. Carry with you the image of the spring's clear flow, the basin's reflective mirror, the moss-covered ledge, and let them guide you into the next phase of this journey, trusting that wherever you go, you carry living water that restores and sustains. Picture now a sweeping expanse of wildflowers at the valley's edge, carpets of violet lupin, golden buttercups, and soft white daisies undulating in silent homage to the night breeze, each blossom a testament to God's creative artistry and a gentle reminder that even amid stillness, life flourishes in vibrant color. Step forward into this blooming meadow and feel the ground spring lightly beneath your feet, the petals brushing your ankles like joyful applause, celebrating your journey deeper into peace. Inhale the floral perfume, notes of honeyed nectar, fresh earth, hints of lavender dusk, and let it fill your lungs with hope. Exhale any lingering tension, watching as it drifts away like dandelion seeds carried on a current of grace. As you wander through this sea of blooms, notice that each flower seems to turn its face towards you, opening wide as if to offer its own benediction, and in that silent exchange, sense the valley itself blessing you, affirming your worth, whispering, "You are safe, you are beloved," through the language of petals and stems. Pause before a single sunflower standing tall among lower blooms, its golden face a beacon of warmth, and reach out, gently tracing your fingers along its sturdy stem, feeling the fine hairs catch between your skin, a tactile reminder of the Creator's care for even the smallest details of His world. Let your gaze drift upward along the sunflower's stalk to the face that tilts toward the moon, powerful yet vulnerable in its openness, and imagine your own heart turning to the light of God's truth, drinking in His revelation as freely as a sunflower drinks the sun even in the night's hush. Whisper softly, "Lord, turn my heart always toward you," and sense that simple prayer resonating among the blooms, each flower nodding its assent as though in silent chorus. Continuing on, you come upon a natural amphitheater formed by semicircular stones tucked into a hollow at the meadow's center, their surfaces smooth and cool from centuries of weather, arranged as though for an audience of one, God Himself. Step onto the lowest stone and stand tall, feet grounded, spine aligned, shoulders relaxed, and let the amphitheater's embrace focus your awareness inward, inviting reflection upon the sacred story that brought you here. Close your eyes and imagine that each stone holds the memory of a whispered prayer, a tear shed in longing, a voice raised in worship. Breathe in that legacy. Breathe out your own prayers, confessions, praises, hopes, trusting that each exhalation carries your spirit up through the valley's expanse into the throne room of divine compassion. Listen for the echo of your own breath among the stones, a soft resonance that becomes a prayerful response. "Here I am, Lord," with an open heart, and know that the valley delights in your presence. Open your eyes onto the circle of blooms and stones, envisioning them as witnesses to your surrender, and begin to speak aloud a lament you have long held in secret, each word finding its place among the petals, each phrase settling into the stones until your heart feels unburdened, the weight of unspoken grief dissolving into the earth's generous soil. When your lament ends, fall silent and allow the meadow's gentle rustle to carry your sorrow away, replacing it with a profound sense of rest you have not known before. Now sit on the central stone, legs crossed, hands resting on your knees, palm up, eyes soft focus on the moonlit petals around you, and let your breath deepen as you enter a meditative stillness, inhaling the valley's night air as though it were pure grace, exhaling every last thread of doubt until all that remains is the rhythmic ebb and flow of God's sustaining presence. Imagine that presence as a soft white glow emanating from the center of the circle, enveloping you in a womb of divine care, nourishing your soul's every need. In this sacred cradle, reflect on the truth of Romans 8:38-39, that nothing can separate you from the love of Christ, no height nor depth, no present darkness nor future fear. Let this revelation wash over you in tidal waves of assurance, each wave gently lifting you above every trial until you see your life from God's vantage, beloved, secure, unshakable. Allow tears of gratitude to flow if they come, each one a pearl of grace forming in the depths of your restored heart. Rise from the stone and circle once more among the wildflowers, letting your fingertips brush the tops of blooms, savoring their texture and color, knowing that this communion with creation mirrors your communion with the Creator, every petal a page in the story of His love for you. As you move, visualize a ribbon of golden light unfurling at your feet, tracing your path through the meadow, marking the way you have come, a living testimony to the journey of rest you have chosen. Following that ribbon, you arrive at a gentle slope, descending toward the valley floor, and there, nestled among the grass, a simple wooden bench carved from an ancient oak, its surface worn smooth by the hands of faithful pilgrims. Approach and settle onto it, feeling the bench's solidity beneath you, its roots still deep in the earth, and sense how your own faith is rooted in the unchanging character of God, steadfast as this oak. Lean back and let the bench carry your weight, arms folded gently across your chest, head tilted to one side as you gaze into the expanse of stars above, each one singing silently of God's glory, each one a spark of His presence lighting the canvas of night. Here, the valley seems to stretch beyond the horizon, an endless invitation to trust, to rest, to believe that no matter how far you wander, you are always drawn home by the pull of divine love. Press your palms into the bench's arms and whisper a final prayer for this loop. Lord, thank you for your boundless creativity, for every bloom that spoke to my heart, for every stone that held my prayers, for every breath of rest you have given me here. May the seeds of this journey grow deep within my soul and bear fruit of peace in every season of my life. Sit in silence a while longer, letting the meadow's stillness permeate your being, until the boundary between you and creation blurs into a single hymn of worship, a tapestry of fragrance, sound, color, and calm sewn together by the master weaver himself. When you feel complete, rise slowly, planting your feet firmly on the grass, and with one last look across the sea of flowers, carry the memory of their beauty, their resilience, their gentle invitation to rest into the next loop of your journey. Continuing onward from the meadow's gentle bench, you follow the soft ribbon of golden light as it winds deeper into the valley's heart, each step a quiet affirmation that you are guided by unseen hands, each breath a testament to the promise that you are safe in this sacred place. Notice now how the valley walls, once covered in wildflowers and fern, give way to clusters of ancient birch trees whose pale bark glows softly in the moonlight, their slender trunks rising like silent sentinels guarding the path to deeper rest. As you step beneath their arching branches, feel their presence as a tender embrace, the cool touch of their bark against your fingertips, grounding you in the present moment. Walk slowly beneath this birch cathedral, inhaling the subtle scent of sap and leaf, feeling the breath of the valley swirl around you, carrying faint echoes of every prayer you have offered thus far. With each exhale, let go of any residual tension, imagining it drifting upward with fallen leaves until it vanishes into the night sky. The ground here is cushioned with layers of soft moss and fallen needles, each step muted, as though the earth itself honors your journey into stillness. Soon the path curves gently beside a shallow grotto carved into the hillside, its entrance veiled by trailing vines that sway with the slightest breeze. Draw aside the vines and step inside, feeling the temperature drop as you enter a chamber of stone and shadow. The air here is cool and fragrant with the scent of earth and ancient water. Breathe deeply of that fragrance and feel it infuse your lungs with calm determination to rest fully in His care. Inside the grotto, a natural spring seeps from the rock face, streaming into a small stone basin carved by time. Approaching the basin, you see that its surface is strewn with hundreds of tiny quartz pebbles, polished smooth by centuries of flow and light. Kneel before the basin and trace your fingers across the cool stones, feeling their texture as a tactile reminder that God's promises are both enduring and gentle, shaped by the slow, steady passage of His faithfulness. Cup your hands beneath the spring's trickle once again and draw up a measure of living water, sipping slowly as though tasting the very essence of divine grace. Feel the water's coolness kindle a deep sense of renewal in your core, a quiet assurance that every part of you, body, mind, and spirit, is being refreshed by this encounter. As you drink, recall the words of Isaiah 35. Streams will break forth in the desert and rivers in the wasteland, and let that prophetic promise flow through you, transforming any barren places within your soul into fertile ground for peace. When you have finished, stand and step into the basin's shallow water, letting it swirl around your ankles as you face the grotto's inner wall. There, etched into the stone by unseen hands, you notice 4 great words carved in ancient script: rest, trust, hope, belong. Trace each letter with reverent fingertips, speaking them silently as you follow their order. First, rest, letting your body sink into the basin as though the water itself is a cradle. Then trust, closing your eyes and feeling your heart loosen its grip on worry. Next, hope, inhaling anticipation that tomorrow holds fresh mercies. And finally, belong, resting in the knowledge that here in this valley, you are not alone, but part of creation's grand tapestry. Turning from the carvings, you follow a narrow ledge that skirts the grotto's inner chamber, the water gurgling to your right as it flows toward unknown depths. The ledge opens onto a hidden balcony overlooking the valley below, a moonlit panorama of rippling grass, scattered groves, and distant stone ridges fading into shadow. Step onto the balcony and lean on its moss-covered railing, gazing at the vistas spread before you like a living painting. Feel how the expanse reminds you of God's vast love, unbounded by your circumstances, reaching out to enfold every part of your soul. As you stand there, the valley's hush deepens into a profound stillness that seems to vibrate with holy expectancy. Offer a silent prayer of gratitude. Lord, thank you for this hidden place, for every curve of the path, every drop of living water, every carved word of promise. May the peace I find here bloom within me always. Let those words resonate within you like ripples across a pond, expanding outward until they touch the farthest reaches of your being. After a time of quiet reflection, step back from the railing and retrace your way through the grotto, allowing the vines to fall back into place as you depart, preserving the sacredness of this inner sanctuary. The path now leads uphill through a stand of silver birches, whose leaves shimmer like tiny bells as they stir, and you follow until you emerge on a grassy knoll bathed in soft starlight. Here, nature itself seems to pause in reverence. You see a single white stag standing motionless at the knoll's crest, its antlers glowing faintly, eyes reflecting the night's calm. Feel a thrill of wonder as the stag regards you with gentle intelligence, then slowly lowers its head, inviting you to draw near. As you approach, notice how the grass around the stag grows greener, lusher, as though life itself radiates from its presence. Kneel before the stag and place a hand on its flanks, feeling a warmth like living flame, a surge of divine connection passing through you both. In this moment, words rise unbidden in your heart. Be still and know that I am God, and you breathe them into the night air, feeling them settle deep within your spirit. The stag lifts its head and steps aside, motioning toward the east where the first glimmer of dawn begins to lighten the horizon. You rise and follow its path down the knoll, leaving behind hoof prints in the dew-soft grass that fade almost as soon as they appear, reminding you of the transient yet sacred nature of this journey. As you descend, the valley awakens with promise. Birds stir in the groves. A gentle breeze carries the promise of a morning, and the ribbon of golden light you first followed now swells with the warmth of coming day. Step forward with renewed trust, knowing that every loop completed, every scene encountered, every promise received has woven into your soul a tapestry of peace that will carry you beyond this valley. As you leave the silver birches behind, the valley path widens once more and unfolds into a gentle rise, the golden ribbon of light you followed guiding you toward a distant rise crowned with ancient olive trees whose twisted trunks bear witness to centuries of seasons. With each step upward, feel your chest open and your spirit lift, as though the very ascent carries you closer to heaven's embrace. The grass beneath your feet softens into a carpet of wild thyme, its fragrance rising with each footfall. Inhale the scent of earth and herb. Let it fill your lungs with the promise of God's faithful care. Exhale any lingering doubt and sense how your entire being aligns with the rhythm of creation's breath. Reaching the crest of the rise, you find yourself among the olive groves, their silvery leaves whispering secrets in the breeze. Stand for a moment beneath one ancient tree, place a palm against its gnarled bark, and feel the slow, steady pulse of life that courses from root to branch, as if the tree itself is a living conduit of God's abiding presence. Let your hand rest there and offer a silent prayer. Lord, plant me like this olive tree by your streams of peace. Let my roots grow deep in your word. Let me bear fruit of stillness and trust. Feel the tree's quiet ascent through its steady pulse under your palm, a sacred heartbeat that syncs with your own. Moving deeper into the grove, you notice small lanterns hung among the branches, their soft glow casting pools of gentle light on the ground. Each lantern bears a single word inscribed on its glass: praise, surrender, mercy, joy, restoration. Approach the first and let its light draw your gaze inward. Whisper the word praise as you lift your eyes to the canopy, feeling your heart respond in gratitude for every blessing that has guided your path. Let your palms rise in a gesture of worship, lifting those unseen gifts up into the night sky. At the next lantern, surrender. Feel yourself releasing control, hands unclenching, shoulders dropping, as you entrust your future, your hopes, your fears, to the one who holds all things. Breathe deeply as you speak the word into the lantern's light, watching it pulse in response until its glow steadies into a steady flame, a beacon of your faith unleashed. Pausing at mercy, cup your hands beneath the lantern's glow and imagine its warmth seeping into your fingertips, flowing up your arms into your heart. Allow yourself to receive that mercy now for every fault, every regret, every moment you felt unworthy. Let the soft luminescence bathe those places in grace until they soften into peace. At joy, let laughter rise quietly in your chest, a smile dancing on your lips as memories of unexpected delights, sunlight on water, a friend's kindness, the taste of fresh bread, flood your mind. Stand barefoot in the grove and let that joy radiate outward in silent ripples until every leaf seems to tremble with delight at your laughter. Finally, at restoration, bow your head and place both hands upon your chest, feeling the gentle expansion of your rib cage as you inhale the lantern's glow, letting it mend what has been broken, renew what has grown weary. Imagine that light flowing through you like a healing river, reaching every hidden chamber of your soul, repairing what pain has torn, refining what sorrow has scarred. With your heart overflowing, continue through the grove until the lantern-lit path opens onto a clearing where a stone altar stands bathed in moonlight. Upon the altar rests an open scroll inscribed with the words of Lamentations 3:2-23, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning." Approach the altar and kneel before the scroll, letting the promise settle into your heart. Trace the letters with reverent fingertips, feeling as though each word is written for you in this moment of renewal. Roll the scroll close gently and lift it into your arms as though embracing a cherished friend. Then rise and carry it toward the grove's edge, where a stone bench faces eastward toward the coming dawn. Sit and place the scroll beside you. Lean your head back against the bench's cool surface and gaze toward the horizon, where pale streaks of light begin to bleed into the blackness. Feel the anticipation of morning stirring in your chest like a gentle flutter, a reminder that every ending bears the seed of a new beginning. As the sky brightens, let the first light wash over you in waves of soft rose and gold, each hue a brushstroke of God's artistry. Breathe in the dawn's glory, breathe out the last vestiges of night's shadows, and feel your spirit awaken in harmony with creation's chorus. Offer a final prayer of surrender. Lord, your mercies are new every morning. May I rise each day in the freshness of your love, anchored in your steadfast peace. Clasp your hands and press them against your lips, then stretch them wide as though to gather the dawn itself, feeling its warmth on your skin, its hope in your veins, its promise in your bones. Let the valley rejoice with you as the orb of the sun peaks above the ridges, spilling light across the groves and meadows, bathing everything in the radiance of divine rest. Rise from the bench with renewed strength, feeling the earth solid beneath your feet and the sky endless above your head. Carry the scroll of promise, the lantern's light, and the olive tree's pulse within you as you begin your descent from the grove, each step infused with the fruit of this loop: praise, surrender, mercy, joy, restoration, knowing that these treasures are yours to keep and share. As you walk back down the path, the valley awakens around you. Birds call to one another, blossoms open to greet the sun, the stream gleams like a ribbon of fire, every element joining in a hymn of gratitude for the journey you have completed. Feel that hymn resonate in your own voice as you exhale a breath of worship, your spirit unified with the valley's song. And so, beloved friend, Loop 9 is complete. Your heart has been filled, your mind has been quieted, and your soul has been restored in the valley of stillness. May the peace you find here continue to guide your steps beyond these sacred borders, and may you carry this loop of praise, surrender, mercy, joy, and restoration into every moment of your waking life. Step carefully now into the heart of the valley's deepest stillness, where the ridge walls recede into gentle slopes and the air itself seems to hold its breath in reverent silence, each footfall a soft conversation between your soul and the earth. Feel the ground beneath your feet shift from tufts of grass to a bed of silken moss, its plush surface yielding to your weight as though eager to cradle you in rest, and with each inhale draw in the valley's hush, a pure infusion of peace that settles like dew upon every cell. With each exhale release the final echoes of striving until your mind is a calm lake reflecting only the present moment. Notice now how the moonlight filters through a canopy of quaking aspens above, their trembling leaves casting a dance of silver shadows that shimmer across the moss. Let your gaze soften until those patterns blur into a gentle tapestry of light and dark, each flicker inviting your heart to slow, each tremor whispering that even in stillness, life moves in sacred rhythm. And as you walk beneath this living cathedral, sense how your own breath attunes to the tree's silent song, rising and falling in quiet consonance with creation's unspoken hymn. Ahead, you discover a narrow clearing ringed by leaning stones, each one inscribed with a single phrase in ancient script: still, be, receive, believe. Their carvings worn smooth by wind and time. Approach the first stone and lay your palm upon its cool surface, feeling its solidity anchor you in the present. Whisper the word still as though it were a benediction, and let the stone's steadfast presence teach your heart the art of true stillness, a deep discipline beyond mere absence of noise, a full yielding of mind, body, and spirit into the arms of divine calm. Moving to the next, be. Stand with bare feet apart, spine aligned, arms relaxed by your sides, and simply exist in this moment without agenda, without question, without expectation, letting the word be echo in your mind like a sacred mantra. Breathe deeply and feel the valley's essence flow into you, as though you were a vessel held open by a loving hand, letting its fullness pour through every pore until you know without doubt that your only task now is to be, in this valley, in this breath, in this embrace of God's presence. At the third stone, receive, kneel before it, and lift your hands palms up, as though offering them to the sky to receive a gift. Close your eyes and silently invite every blessing the valley offers: grace, mercy, renewal, promise. Feel each one descend like a soft rain upon your heart, letting the tears that come be tears of relief and gratitude, each drop a testimony to your soul's readiness to receive all that God has prepared for you, every blessing that flows from His inexhaustible fountain of love. Finally, the stone inscribed "Believe" stands tallest among them. Place both hands upon its broad face and lean your weight into it, feeling the solidity of faith beneath your fingers. Recite softly, "I believe in your promise of peace." Let the word sink into the stone and echo back into your spirit until belief becomes a living flame in your chest, a beacon that outshines every shadow of doubt, a tether that binds your heart to the certainty of God's unfailing faithfulness. Continuing past the ring of stones, you enter a grove of tall pines, whose trunks rise like columns of a silent temple. The air here is scented with resin and earth, heavy with the promise of renewal, and you pause to place your back against one tree, closing your eyes and pressing into its firm bark, as though drawing strength from its ancient roots. breathing in deep until your ribs expand with the pine-kissed air, exhaling until you feel every sinew soften, every muscle loosen, until your body and the tree become one in their mutual surrender to the valley's peace. From the grove's center emerges a narrow stone stair carved into the incline, each step worn smooth by unseen pilgrims. Ascend slowly, feeling the coolness of each stone underfoot, your breathing steady and unhurried, until you reach a small plateau overlooking the valley floor, a private balcony of moss and lichen where the world below seems hushed in homage to the night. Stand at the edge, let your arms spread wide as wings catching the breeze. Inhale the expanse before you. Moonlit ridges, whispering grass, silent waters, and exhale into that vastness all that remains of your restlessness, until the valley itself seems to fold you into its silent arms. In the still air, listen for the faint echo of a distant flute, soft, haunting, woven from the valley's very breath. Let its melody sink into your bones, each note a drop of balm dissolving the last barriers of tension. Follow its winding call inward, stepping off the plateau and back down into a shallow basin where crystalline water pools in a ring of stones, untouched by breeze or creature, a mirror reflecting only the heavens. Kneel at the water's rim and run your fingertips across its surface, feeling the cool ripple carve away the boundary between you and the sky's reflection. Gaze down at the infinite stars dancing on liquid glass and see your own face mingling with them, a living constellation of divine design, each feature illuminated by moonlight and grace, every thought of unworthiness swept away by the water's pure clarity. Cup the water in both hands and bring it to your lips, sipping slowly as though tasting eternity itself. Feel its cool sweetness kindle a quiet fire of peace within, warming your core, igniting a holy confidence that no trial can extinguish, no fear can overshadow, a confidence rooted not in circumstances but in the unchanging character of the one who loves you without end. Standing now, let the water trickle from your hands back into the pool, each drop a final echo of your transformation, a benediction returning to the source. Step backward until the stones ring the pool behind you, and rest your hand upon one, smooth as glass, warmed by moonlight. Let its cool touch remind you that every trial you have faced has been polished by grace into a gem of wisdom. Every tension you have released has been redeemed into a jewel of compassion. Turn your gaze upward and recite Psalm 91. You who dwell in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Let each word be a note in your heart's new song, a declaration that no harm can overtake you, no fear can undo the peace you carry within. With that promise sealed in your spirit, take a final step away from the basin and follow the narrow path that winds back through the aspen cathedral, each leaf stirring in silent applause of your surrender until you return to the clearing where this loop began, the ring of stones standing as witnesses to your journey into stillness. Stand in the center of that circle and breathe deeply one last time, drawing in the valley's full essence. Still, be, receive, believe, and as you exhale, let your breath carry those words into every corner of your being, binding them to your soul. Know that this loop of the journey is complete not only in the valley, but within you, a sacred chamber of rest you can return to at any moment, a wellspring of peace that flows from the heart of God into the depths of your own. As you step away from the circle of ancient stones, the valley's hush deepens around you, and ahead, Through a narrow corridor of ferns and willow saplings, a faint glow begins to paint the eastern sky, a whisper of dawn stirring the world to awakening. With each measured breath, feel the promise of morning threading itself through your being, an undercurrent of hope rising like the first notes of a sacred hymn. Walk forward, guided by the soft luminescence, each footfall cushioned by a carpet of dew-kissed grass that glistens like countless tiny lanterns set across the valley floor, and let your senses awaken to the subtle shift in the air. The cool night giving way to gentle warmth, the silence yielding to a chorus of distant birdsong, the velvet darkness surrendering to pale rose and gold. Pause now on a small rise where the ferns part to reveal a wide overlook, a gentle swell of earth crowned by low stones arranged in a semicircle, each one carved with swirling patterns of sun and cloud. Stand before this dawn altar and let your gaze sweep across the horizon where the first slender rays of sun pierce the night's veil, pale fingers of light reaching out as though to touch your cheek, to draw you fully into the gift of this new day. In that moment, breathe deeply and feel the warmth of those rays infuse your chest, kindling the embers of your soul into a steady flame of expectation, each pulse echoing the valley's own heartbeat as it stirs beneath the coming sun. As the light grows stronger, imagine it flowing like liquid gold down the valley's contours, pooling in every hollow, illuminating every curve and crevice, until even the stones beneath your feet glow with the radiance of promise. With each inhalation, draw that golden light into your lungs. With each exhalation, release any residue of darkness that clings to your spirit, doubt, regret, fear, watching them dissolve into the brilliance until your inner landscape mirrors the unfolding dawn. Feel how every cell in your body responds, awakening to renewed purpose, filled with the knowledge that God's mercies are indeed new every morning, that His faithfulness rises with the sun. Step to the center of the semicircle and let your arms open wide as though to embrace the sunrise itself, letting your entire frame become a vessel for the valley's awakening light. Whisper softly, "Lord, let your light shine in me," and sense those words carried on the breeze, joining with the valley's own exultant song. As the sun's face clears the horizon, its warmth envelops you fully, across your shoulders, down your back, through the soles of your feet into the earth, binding you in a sacred covenant of daybreak and renewal. Turning slowly, follow the light as it unrolls along a nearby creek, its surface shimmering with fiery reflections. Walk beside its banks where water ripples over stones, and imagine that each sunrise-painted wave is a message of hope, one for every worry that once weighed upon you. Cup your hands and draw in a sip of the sunlit water, tasting the cool clarity of a new beginning, letting it wash away the residue of yesterday's burdens. As you drink, recall the valley's journey thus far, the quiet breaths, the living waters, the healing stones, and let those memories blend with the dawn's promise until you feel wholly restored, ready to step into the fullness of God's morning grace. Continuing downstream, the path curves around a cluster of wild iris whose violet blooms turn toward the sun's ascent. Pause among them and witness how each petal catches the light, transforming from deep indigo into translucent flame. Kneel in the dew and reach out to gently brush your fingertips across the blossoms, feeling the soft silk give way beneath your touch. A tactile reminder that beauty often reveals itself in the softest moments of transition. Whisper a prayer of gratitude for the valley's artistry. Thank you, Lord, for painting my life with hope. Rising, you find a series of low logs arranged like the seats of an amphitheater, carved from the earth itself, facing a natural canvas of sky and ridge. Sit here, feeling the cool wood beneath you slowly warmed by the sun's rays, and let the valley's panorama settle in your heart. Watch as the colors deepen, rosy pinks shifting to warm amber, pale gold blossoming into brilliant light, and listen as the birds inaugurate the day with a chorus of praise. Each note resonates with the valley's own voice, a symphony of creation declaring the glory of the Maker. Breathe in that chorus, letting it harmonize with your own silent song of worship. As the sun climbs higher, notice how the dew evaporates into a gentle mist that dances across the valley floor, blurring boundaries and softening edges until the entire landscape seems bathed in a holy glow. Stand and extend your arms to the mist, letting its cool tendrils swirl around you, washing away any last trace of isolation, any final barrier between you and the world's awakening. Feel the mist as a benediction, each droplet a kiss of peace imparted by nature's own priesthood. Ahead, at the meadow's far edge, a circle of standing stones emerges. 6 great monoliths, each bearing a deep carving of a symbol: a sunburst, a wave, a leaf, a flame, a star, and a heart. Approach the first and trace the sunburst's rays with your fingertips, feeling the carvings pulse with morning energy. Step to the wave symbol and let your gaze drift to the creek's rippling reflection, recalling how God's peace, like water, calms every storm. Move to the leaf, inhaling the scent of new growth, letting its green promise of renewal take root in your heart. Touch the flame and feel the sun's warmth ignite holy fire within, a passion for God's presence that cannot be quenched. Reach the star and remember the night's constellations, how even in darkness God's light guides us. Finally, place your hand upon the heart carving and receive the valley's blessing of love, an enduring assurance that you are forever beloved, carried by God's unwavering affection. In the circle's center, close your eyes and let all 6 symbols converge in spirit within you: light, water, earth, fire, cosmos, and love, each element weaving into a tapestry of holistic peace. Breathe in deeply, drawing those 6-fold gifts into your being, and exhale a silent vow to carry this integration of creation's blessings into every waking hour, to let morning's promise guide your steps, to share the valley's peace with every soul you encounter. When you open your eyes, the circle of stones stands as living witnesses to your dawn commissioning. Step out of the circle and follow a narrow trail that winds upward toward a lone oak perched on a gentle knoll. The tree's branches spread wide like arms poised in welcome, its leaves shimmering with the day's first light. Approach its trunk and rest your palm against its bark, feeling the solid strength of its ancient form. Whisper, "Lord, root me in your peace," and sense that root extending deep beneath the soil, anchoring you in God's steadfast love, as surely as the oak stands firm against every season. Finally, standing beneath the oak's canopy, lift your face to the sun fully risen, its warmth illuminating every feature, and offer a final prayer. Thank you, Father, for this valley of stillness, and for leading me to this dawn of hope. May your light guide me, your peace hold me, and your love sustain me through every day. Let those words settle into your soul like balm, a perpetual benediction you carry beyond the valley's borders. With that, take a last, lingering breath of the morning air, feeling it fill your lungs with promise, then step forward along the path that leads back toward the valley's entrance, each step lighter than the last, each heartbeat echoing the valley's own rhythm of peace, knowing that Loop 11 is complete, and that you walk now in the fullness of God's new mercies, guided by dawn's gentle light and cradled by his unending care. Step forward beyond the ancient oak, leaving behind the embrace of its branches, and feel the valley open once more into a final expanse of wild grasses tinged with silver dawnlight, each stalk a slender testament to God's faithfulness. Inhale deeply and let the crisp morning air fill your lungs with promise. Exhale fully and release every last fragment of hesitation, knowing that you have walked the length of this sacred journey and stand now at its culmination. Notice how the grass before you is interspersed with pale blossoms of meadow rue, their clusters of lacy petals nodding softly as though in benediction. Walk among them, allowing each petal to brush your fingertips, feeling the delicate texture as a reminder that divine peace is woven even into the subtlest details of creation. With each step, let your awareness settle into the rhythm of the field. Inhale the sweet nectar of new beginnings. Exhale the residues of every fear you once carried. Ahead, at the heart of this meadow, you see a low circle of stones forming a gentle dais just above the grass line. These stones are warm from the rising sun and inscribed with words that together compose a final blessing: peace, stillness, trust, hope, rest, beloved. Approach the dais and stand at its center, feeling the stone's radiance seep through your souls, infusing you with their carved truths. Let your feet root into the earth as though you are becoming one with the valley itself, a living monument to God's restorative work. Begin to speak each word aloud, pausing between them to let their meaning settle within you. First, peace. Breathe it in until every cell hums with calm. Next, stillness. Feel your mind's current slow to an unbroken mirror of presence. Then, trust. Allow your heart to unclench and rest in the certainty of God's care. Follow with hope. Sense your spirit lifting on invisible wings toward God's dawning promises. Then rest. Let your body soften into surrender as though the valley itself supports you. And finally, beloved, receive that highest truth into your innermost being, knowing you are treasured beyond measure. With each repetition, allow gathering warmth to rise from the stones into your legs, your torso, your arms, until your entire frame is suffused with a luminous glow, a testament to the valley's blessing pouring into you. Stand motionless as the breeze stirs the grasses around the dais, carrying your whispered words outward like seeds destined to take root in both the world and your soul. Then, kneel upon one knee at the dais's edge, placing both hands upon the nearest stone inscribed "Beloved," and offer a final prayer of consecration. Lord, in this place of stillness, you have shown me your faithfulness. In this place of trust, you have held me safe. In this place of hope, you have awakened my soul. In this place of rest, you have renewed my spirit. And in this place of peace, you have declared me beloved. May I carry these gifts into every moment of my life, that your presence may continue to dwell within me until I stand once more in your everlasting light. As you speak, feel a gentle vibration pass through the dais, as though creation itself concurs with your vow, the stones humming softly beneath your palms like an echo of your own heartbeat. Breathe that resonance into your heart, letting it bind your soul to the valley's eternal promise. Rising fully, turn slowly to face the path that leads back toward the entrance of the valley. With each step, feel the dais's warmth release you gently into the world, its blessing trailing behind you like a veil of light. Notice how the grasses now part before your feet, guiding you onward, how the blossoms bow in farewell, how the stones stand silent as sentinels safeguarding the valley's secret. Walk that path with deliberate slowness, anchoring each footfall in gratitude for the gift of Isaiah's whisper, for the comfort of Psalm's waters, for the dance of wind and leaf, for the healing power of the spring, for the benedictions of stones and lanterns, for the miracle of dawn. Let each memory be folded into your soul like a cherished scroll, unfurled within your heart whenever you seek rest. Approach the valley's threshold where the grass gives way to sunlit earth patches, and pause once more. Turn back and drink in the panorama of meadow, grove, stream, and ridge, a living canvas painted by God's hand. Recognize that though your journey here concludes, the valley remains timeless, and you, wherever you are, carry this valley within you. Take one final breath of the valley air, filling every part of you with its essence. Peace that transcends understanding, stillness that anchors the soul, trust that never wavers, hope that dawns anew, rest that truly restores, and the unshakable knowledge that you are beloved. With that breath, step forward beyond the threshold. The world welcomes you back, but you carry a new presence, a still sanctuary within, a fountain of divine rest ready to flow in every circumstance. In this final moment, stand in the hush beyond the meadow. Feel every blade of grass whispering peace beneath your feet. Sense the valley's heartbeat echoing in your own as you carry its stillness within. Imagine the golden light you first met at dawn, now pulsing through every part of you, warming your chest, filling your veins, anchoring you in the promise that you are safe wherever you wander, that God's hand upholds you in every breath. Let your shoulders soften, your jaw unclench, every muscle surrender into rest as you close your eyes and receive the valley's blessing. Be still in His love, trust in His faithfulness, hope in His new mercies, rest in His unwavering care. Know you are forever beloved. As you open your eyes, let the world you return to be tinted by this peace. Let your steps carry the valley's song. Let your heart remain a sanctuary of calm. I'll stay right here until dawn finds you rested.